Ben Mansky is an attorney, a pro-democracy advocate, and he is the executive director of the Liberty Tree Foundation, a think tank and organizing center. He also is a co-founder and executive committee member of Move to Amend, a coalition of national organizations including Progressive Democrats of America, the National Lawyers Guild, the Green Party, and the Liberty Tree Foundation. Move to Amend is working to amend our Constitution to reverse the Supreme Court ruling, Citizens United versus FEC, that gave First Amendment rights to corporations. Please, let's welcome Ben.
All right, I want to thank all of you. I want to thank Larry. Came down here from Madison, Wisconsin.
We can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
Closer.
Gotta be very close, it sounds like, for this particular night. I'll just say again, thank you to Larry, thanks to all of you for welcoming us down from Wisconsin. It's wonderful to see so many people here in Chicago taking a stand for democracy. But I have to say, some of the signs that you have here trouble me a bit. I see signs about corporate corruption. Don't you think that's a little harsh? About a revolving door. Some of the messaging here is just a little too extreme, don't you think? You gotta be kidding me! You gotta be kidding me! Who do they think they're kidding? We've seen the revolving door. We have seen administration after administration filled with corporate lobbyists. Democratic administration, Republican administration, generation after generation. Who do they think they're kidding? Not us! Who do they think they're kidding? We've seen what went down with the BP spill. We've seen who's running the administration's agencies. They're supposed to be protecting the public health and our economy. And not just this administration, they inherited it from the previous one. Who do they think they're kidding? Who do they think they're kidding over there in Afghanistan and Iraq? Not us, where they have mercenaries, private military companies that are taking over for the United States Armed Forces, who are taking over in this most vital areas of American sovereignty. Who do they think they're kidding? Who do they think they're kidding as they take over our public schools? The Edison Project, with all these corporations who look at our public school system and they say, there's $10 trillion in North America and it is not ours and we're going to take it. Do they think they're kidding us? No! Not kidding me either. I have to tell you, we have a vital task in front of us. And we all here together today are part of a vital movement. It is a new movement in America. It is not just a labor movement, though I am very glad as a member of AFT to see my sisters and brothers from SEIU here in strength today. It is not just an environmental movement, or a women's movement, or a civil rights movement, or a community movement. It is a democracy movement. It is a movement by the people who have been disempowered, who know, because we are the majority of us, on single-payer health care, on education, on the war. The majority of the American people are right most of the time. We know that the problem is that we do not exercise power in this country. So I would say to you, our first task, above and beyond a constitutional amendment campaign, our first task, above and beyond any kind of fair elections legislation, beyond stopping the revolving door between lobbyists and members of Congress and members of the legislature. Our first task is to build a democracy movement in the United States. That means building it from the bottom up. It means struggling for democracy in our communities. It means struggling for democracy in our schools. It means struggling for democracy in the United States military to bring home the National Guard, which was originally the nation's defense, designed to protect us against imperialism. We need to build this from the bottom up. It's not going to be Washington down. It's going to be from Chicago up. And I really want to thank you for taking that first step. So please give yourself a round of applause today. Thank you. Secondly, and Larry got my second point. He says, speak to our organization how you might help. Please join us. Move to Amend is a coalition organization. It involves scores of national organizations and many grassroots organizations. Lisa and I are going back to Madison today. We will be speaking to a Move On rally in Middleton, Wisconsin this evening. Folks like you, we will tell them that we are here with you today. They are involved in this campaign. And what we are working to do is not just to move the principles of amending the Constitution. We fully intend to do it. And let us recognize that it has been done before. When you think about what people were up against at the time of the American Revolution, what they were up against, these farmers, these artisans. I'm not talking about the southern plantation slave owners. I'm talking about the poor farmers of New England who are up against the largest corporation in world history, the East Indies Trading Company. When you think about what they were up against, the might of the British Imperial Army and the Navy. And they did it. They built a new constitution. And some of those states, by the way, gave women the right to vote. They abolished slavery before any court did it. You think about what the abolitionists here in the North and down in the South, where they were facing the hangman's noose and death for merely printing words that said that all people are free, free by birth, that it's their natural right. The very principle of the Constitution of the Revolution in the first place. Those people were up against something brilliantly dangerous, but they took up arms to end slavery. We have it easy compared to them. That's right, and the Bill of Rights. We have a rich history. We are standing on incredible shoulders here in Chicago, where you have the Haymarket Martyrs, where the labor movement has been so strong for so long. You think about the fact that the Supreme Court for so long held that it was a criminal conspiracy to join a labor union. And they went ahead and they fought for the First Amendment right, to expand the First Amendment right, the freedom of association, to form unions and to organize. And more recently, in my own time, my own generation, I'm of Gen X, I'm 36, when we went to Seattle and I saw the courage of my peers, when we shut down the World Trade Organization and Clinton sent the National Guard into the streets and declared martial law. Think about what we were up against at that time. Maybe some of you were here. Maybe some of you were there. And now today, when I look at the immigrant rights movement in the United States, and I think about all the millions of women and men and children who have so much to fear and yet have come out in the streets in the millions to stand for democracy, to be counted as people, think about what they are risking. So is it too much to ask that we would amend the Constitution of the United States to say, we the people, not we the corporations? We the people! We the people! We the people! We the people! What a radical statement! What a radical statement that is! We are the true inheritors of the greatest of America's traditions. We are the true inheritors. And finally, so what I would say to you is, join our movement. Keep on with Move On. We're cooperating with Move On. We're cooperating with lots of other folks. Urge Move On to join the Move to Amend coalition, which, as was stated, is very broad and is nonpartisan, right? People from all kinds of different political parties and affiliations and beliefs. And get organizing in Illinois. Go to your state legislators and tell them to do what legislators in other states have already done in Hawaii, in Rhode Island, in Vermont, in California, and Massachusetts. And I will tell you, I am a candidate for election to the Wisconsin State Assembly, and if I am elected, I will move for Wisconsin to amend the Constitution, to begin the process of amending the national Constitution to state clearly that corporations are not people, that money is not speech, that we have an inalienable right to vote, as Representative Jesse Jackson Jr. of Chicago has repeatedly fought for the right to vote to be an amendment to the Constitution. Join our efforts there.
They think that they're a disadvantaged person. He deserves the right to spend unlimited money in our elections. Unlimited money in our elections. Corporations have already been spending money in our elections. They've been lobbying our members of Congress. They've been donating money through their PACs, through their election campaign funds, and now they want to be able to spend money directly from their treasuries in our elections. But everyone here knows that money isn't speech, right? Money isn't speech. And corporations aren't people. Aren't people. You know, they were created to maximize profit and limit legal liability. And corporations have so much more money than the rest of us, than the 98% of the rest of us, that if we allow them to have this influence on our democracy more than they already have, we will not have a democracy. We won't have a real democracy. So I want to say a second thing, which is that Justice Stevens, who just retired, noted one thing in that Supreme Court decision that I think is noteworthy. He said the fact that corporations are different from human beings might seem to need no elaboration. He said the fact that corporations are different from people might seem obvious to everyone but the 5 guys other than maximizing their wealth.
Not even
Not even Google.
I know that.
So, there are a couple things we know about corporations. We know that corporations don't deserve the same rights as people.
No! Right, right.
We know that corporations can live forever, but we can't. So why should they get to influence our politics forever? We know that they can't be jailed. If they kill someone, they can't be executed. We can. We know that they can be in two places at once and influence elections in Minnesota, Chicago, California, across the country, but we can't. We know that they can be citizens of more than one country and influence policies across the globe, but we can't. We know that they can have as many children as they want. Citibank, Citigroup, Citicorp, whatever the heck it is now, can have hundreds of subsidiaries to evade taxes and maximize their profits and evade regulation. But we can't. We have to pay our taxes. But most importantly, they don't sweat, and they don't breathe, and they don't eat, and they don't drink, and so they don't care what our environment is like. And they don't care what our workplaces are like. They don't care whether our water is good. They don't care whether our air is clean. They don't care whether we've got fair wages. They don't care unless the law makes them care, or unless it costs their bottom line. Make them care! Because the only way we can make them care is through the law. And the only way we can do that through the law is if our voices are the deciding voices in our democracy, not their money. And so we are here at the beginning of a battle. It's going to be a long battle to amend the Constitution. You're going to hear people say it can't be done. The right wing offers constitutional amendments like they're candy. They want to strip the 14th Amendment of the right of people to be citizens based on birth. It's ridiculous. But they don't care about the Constitution, and they don't really care about democracy. They really care about pushing their far-right agenda.
They care about plutocracy.
They care about plutocracy. They care about the money. They care about preying on people's fears. The right wing resorts to Constitutional Amendment. We are resorting to a Constitutional Amendment because it matters for our very lives. It matters for our very future. And we know that it can be done. So I want to say MoveOn did a tremendous job in calling Target on the floor for getting involved in that election.
Yes.
Congratulations to our members.
Boycott Target.
Because the fact is that Target cares if it costs them money. And Target cares if it costs them customers. And Target cares if we pass laws making Target care. So the real question is, whose side are you on? A question for your friends.